Greetings from Fit for Life. Here I am waiting for you. Now, before we do anything, I want you to pay attention to how you're sitting. Are you like this? How are you doing? Are you forward like this? Um, are you relaxed? Are you uptight? We're going to talk about posture today because it really is important. And it might not even sound like it's important to you, but it really, really is. It's important for everything inside your body because when we're sitting like this, everything inside your body gets kind of all squished together, and you don't want that. If you have trouble breathing, some people have COPD, standing straight can help you breathe better. It works, it's true. So we're gonna do some exercises. We're gonna talk about it just a little bit. It's very aging to be like this. Some people watch television like this, and it's okay for like 1 second, but if you're gonna sit through a game like this, it's not gonna be good for you. But what happens is, first of all, as I said, it's unhealthy, and it's true. Crowding all your internal organs. It inhibits breathing, as I said. It crowds your internal organs, which I'm saying again because it does, and I want you to remember that. It creates an exaggerated roundness in your upper back. Now, there already is kind of a cervical curve up there. Some people inherit a real rounding, and they can't even help it. It's just the way I guess their bones have formed. It can be inherited from someone else in the family, but they can still do these exercises and maybe improve it a little bit. But we just tend to want to just relax, especially at the end of the day. And it's okay now and then to be really lazy. You know that. We've got to work on the posture a little bit. So I've put together some exercises we can do seated and some that we can do standing. Another bad thing about poor posture is it affects your balance. It affects how you walk. And if you're not walking with a pretty straight body, you are more apt to fall. So that's one more reason, falls prevention. There's so many reasons that we do take a fall, and we'll do a show on that at some point just to remind you of what to look out for. But poor posture can cause falls because you're not picking up your feet, especially if you're not doing strength training and your legs are weak. You start to shuffle a little bit, or putting the foot down flat. So these rubber soles that we wear so we won't slip can cause us to take a fall. And 1 out of 3 people over 65 will take a fall every year. So keep that in mind. So are you ready to do some exercises to hopefully improve your posture? The first thing I'm going to mention, and it's not even on my list, it wasn't on my original list. If you're driving, an easy way to do it and maybe remember it is to pull your head back into the headrest. Okay? You can still see and drive. Doesn't inhibit your view or anything. Pull your head into that headrest. I do it occasionally, and then I do it for about 5 seconds, and right away I forget. But I think if we do it enough, it's kind of an easy way. You can't go anywhere because you're driving, so you might as well get that exercise for your neck to strengthen your neck. Also, which I didn't mention, weak neck muscles. I mean, how many of you do strength training for your neck, right? So a way to correct that a little bit, 2 fingers on your chin, and just don't do it hard. Just pull your chin in as you gently push back a little bit. So relax it and then push in, and think of elongating your neck a little bit too. Again, right away, you just so let's sit up straight. Pull the chin back in again. There is an exercise machine. It has a seat and it has a pad which reaches your neck, and you're pushing that pad back, and that really does a good job. So if you join a health club or if you're already in one, find out if they have something like that so you can strengthen those neck muscles. Okay? All right, for the first one, we're going to do the chin tuck, and we did already, but let's do one more without pushing back. Just pull that right in, and think of lifting your head or your neck right out of your shoulder girdle here. Just lift up, up, up. All right. Now we're going to do a spinal rotation, which is great. It's a great twist anyway. It's a good stretch for the midriff. You're going to take both hands and hold on to the chair and just, ooh, pull yourself around. Doesn't that feel good? You're nice and straight now. Hi back there. I hope my back looks straight to you. And hold that for a good 15 seconds, 20 seconds if you can. And we'll do the other side. Don't turn the way I just did. Hold on with two hands though and just pull yourself around. Just a bit. And right away that will help to straighten you. I think that's a really good one. So let's hold for a little bit longer. And if you think of it, you could still pull that head in a little bit. You just have to stop that constant forgetting to sit up straight because you're going to end up like this too. I think there are also things that you can wear, straps on your back, but you don't want to depend on those too much because then the muscles will still be lazy, won't they? Yeah, they will. Okay. Another thing we're going to do, just put your hands on your knees. See, here I am, nice and round. And we're going to do the yoga cat. So you're going to pull yourself right up. Oh, yes. And then your shoulders come down. Yes. And then turn to one side. And then turn back to the other side. And let's do the opposite so you can see the difference. Drop the chin down, lift your shoulders up, round your back. You have to come forward in your chair a little bit. So this is not good for posture. It's a nice stretch for your spine though. It is. But we're going to do the opposite now. You're going to bring that head up, pull that chin in, shoulders come down, pull them down, and be nice and straight. See the difference? That's called the yoga cat. I love this exercise. You're almost arching your back a little bit. And if anything hurts back there, just don't do it. Okay? Good. Now here's one that I think I invented. I could be wrong. But I hope you'll try it with me. You are going to turn a little bit on an angle here. Take this arm. I'm your mirror. Remember that? Just flick it over the back of the chair. Yeah. And then just keep turning in that direction. And while you're turning, pull yourself up nice and straight. Good. All right. I'd like you to keep your body here as you turn your head to the other side. And that will help to bring you up a little bit too. It's just kind of different. Kind of easy to do, I think. So let's take our time to get back the other way. This arm goes back. You can hold on to the arm of the chair if you want, or put your hand on the outside of your knee. I think this helps a little bit more. Nice and tall. And then we'll turn just the head in the opposite direction, right? It's good for your neck too, a nice stretch for your neck. But I just thought it kind of made sense. I said, sometimes we sit like that too, don't we? We do. Okay, now I'm going to relax just for a minute. Drop your chin right down. Oh, that feels good back there. Now we'll do the opposite. Let's look up at the ceiling. That might help you or remind you to be nice and straight. Keep that head up. And then we look straight ahead. All we're going to do is just very gently pull that shoulder back. Not your whole self. Try to do just the shoulder. Tiny bit. It won't move much when you first start doing this. Pull that shoulder back. We'll add this to our repertoire. So why don't we do this first? Push it forward, lift it up, and then push it back and down. The other side, forward, up, getting a nice stretch, a nice rotation for that shoulder. Yes, I think I like this. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up. It's called a shoulder roll. Can you do them together? Forward, up, back. So that will come a little bit easier now, won't it? Yes, it will. Posture, poor posture is so aging. It gets to be uncomfortable after a while. It makes you look about 3 or 4 inches shorter too. So keep that in mind. All right, let's relax for a minute. So we don't have to sit up like this all the time, but you do have to exaggerate more than once a week. Okay, to kind of remind those muscles what they have to do. So let's hope that they stay in our memory, right? Stays in our memory. But if you're driving, and some people drive a lot, you're not going to do this for the whole trip. But every now and then, just pull back for a nice stretch. It'll probably wake you up a little too. So I just think it's very important. All right. And when I was in ballet class many, many years ago, the teacher would say, make believe you're a puppet and there's a string on your head and someone is pulling that string up. It was really kind of hard to feel. It does lengthen the neck. So we're not pulling in or pushing out, we're lifting up so the shoulders come down a little bit. And just kind of imagine a string here, or maybe take some of your hair and pull your head up. Just thought it might be something different for us to do. Great. Another thing that might help us is to either touch the back of your neck or clasp your hands back there, sitting up straight, and get those elbows back. This will flatten out that rounding in your back too. Let's do a little turn. I like this. This feels good. I didn't plan on doing this. Just came to us, didn't it? Yes, it did. And the other side. Now let's do a little this way. Might as well do it while we're up here. And then back to the other side. And back. Great. And one more time. Good. Okay, grab some water. I hope you have some nearby. Have to take a little break. And what we're going to do now is stand up and do some posture work. Well, it really isn't called posture work. We're going to do a little bit of ballet, maybe a little bit of jazz exercise. But if you really take a good look at dancers, they really have amazing posture. So let's stand up without holding on. Good. Body alignment. We're aligning our body. We have to do that. So I'm going to turn my chair. You can just get behind your chair. All right, good. You're just going to point your foot back. One foot, it doesn't matter which one. So we tend to kind of come forward, don't we, and lean on that chair, but you're going to pull that chin in and look at the difference. Now, really, doesn't this look better than, that? And that's okay now and then. We can do some circles too. So we're touching, the leg is not perfectly straight, but you're pushing yourself up, pulling that chin in, shoulders down. Now, if you can, just lift that foot off the floor. Even if it's just 1/8 of an inch, lift it up. So this is kind of an arabesque, which is a ballet move, isn't it? Lift that foot up. Stay tall now. Pull that chin right back in. And after a while, it will feel comfortable to have good posture. Let's try the other side, though. We're just going to point that foot back. Wonderful. Again, I tend to do this. I'm going to push myself up, pull the chin in. Now, if you get a cramp here in your back, just don't do it. Just relax and wait for us. Good. And lift up and down and up. Just a tiny bit. And up. Good. Now we're just going to bend those knees and relax. Now, I'm going to show you this, but you're going to have to turn your back to your chair. So just watch me first, but this is something I want you to try on your own. I may have invented this too. Not sure. Holding on. So you've got your back to the chair now. So you can't see me, but you can hear me, right? And all I want you to do is walk forward maybe 2 or 3 little teeny steps, maybe just 2. Opens that chest up and gets those shoulder blades together. They're talking to each other now. There we go. I love this one. And look up at the ceiling when you do it. Good. Now relax and just pull that chin in. Wonderful. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm going to move my chair back just a tiny bit. All right. Just walk forward. Bring those shoulder blades together. Can you feel it? I think you can. And you're kind of getting the chair to help you too. So, all right. And we're going to do one more. So we're going to walk forward, nice and tall, pull that chin in, shoulder blades together, and we're opening up the chest area. Good. Because what happens is these muscles get all congested and your back muscles are stretching out and they get very sore. It's just another reason to have a back problem, right? We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay. Now just for the heck of it, just to throw something in, I'm going to have you stand tall and just lift your leg out to the side. 1 and 2. But stay in this nice straight position. And 4 and 5. Good for your hip too. And 6 and 7 and 8. All right, bend those knees again. Round your back a little. Drop your chin right down. Come back up slowly. And then the other leg has to go out to the side. Your foot is straight. You're not turning the foot out at all. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. Good. And 8. All right, shake those legs out. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And now we're going to do our table back, which will help with your posture too, because most people, when we start to do it, you're up here. A lot of people can't come down or even try to flatten their back out. But I'd like you to try this in a mirror when you're finished with me today. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone with a totally flat back, and you probably won't see mine that way either. But what you're trying to do is flatten that back out like a table. It's called a table back. It's used in jazz, stretching, and so forth, and ballet too. Try to flatten that back right out. Now, I don't think it's flat, but it sure feels good to do it. You can keep your head up if you want to, and then we'll walk back. I really like this, and we've done it before. We've done this before. But if you do it more than once a week, eventually it will get a little bit flatter, but you have to have someone watching you too to see if you're doing it correctly. Unless you had a mirror on your wall, like a ballet room or a ballet class. So let's try it again together. Your arms should be straight, not bent. No elbows in there. All right, I'm going to go way back and see how straight or how flat. I know I can go a little bit more and then a little bit more. And I know the more I do it, the better it would become. But now we're going to do the opposite. So you're going to walk back up slowly. See? If anything hurts, please stop. It's not worth hurting yourself. You're going to bring the arm up. Think of pushing those. I'm going to put one foot back a little. Think of tucking under or pushing those hips forward a little bit. We're going to do a back bend. Now be careful. You're not used to doing this. But this also will flatten out that back a little bit for you. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Now I'm going to put the other foot back a little bit. Bring that arm up, up, up. Push those hips forward a little bit. And we'll go back and you'll look like real ballerinas. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, yeah. We love it. So there's so much you can do. And I'm glad you tuned in so that I can help you. But let's do a little bit more while we're here. Let's finish with just a little bit of a balance exercise before I sit down again. All right, your feet are turned out a little bit. We'll do the yoga tree. You're going to lift one heel up and just lift that foot up. Let's see if I can do it more than 2 seconds. I did. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Oops. There we go. Bend those knees. The other side, just lift your heel up, even if it's 1 second like that. And you watch, you'll be able to do 2 seconds next time. Then maybe 4 seconds. It works, but I want you to practice that too. So let's sit down and relax. Maybe I worked you too hard today. I don't know. I'm going to bring that chair back. Here we go. All right. Now, there's another exercise that we do a lot. It's called the Grecian Stretch. And this too will help you with your posture. And if you've been doing it with me, it gets easier and easier as you do it. So what I'm going to do is come forward in the chair. We're going to turn on an angle, right? Remember, the leg closest to me goes back. You're going to reach down and lift up. And I'm going to pull right back into that little table. Pull yourself up, up, up. Look up at the ceiling. Good. How does that feel? If you can, let go and reach. So you're reaching and pulling back at the same time, but remember, even if it's the last thing you remember, pull that chin right in, okay? Good. And then we'll bring that down. Let's do the opposite. We're going to stretch the back of the leg. We just stretched the quadricep. Now the back, the hamstring. Again, we tend right away to just lose everything, right? So let's sit up straight first. Pull that chin in. We're going to put that hand right down, keeping the back as straight as you can. Come forward. Try to lift that chin up a little bit, just a little bit. Good. See the difference? I'm going to add something to this too. Yes, I am. Let's come back up. As I've been going through the show, I just keep thinking of things that I can give you that might be a little bit easier too. How about this one? Look, now you can pull yourself right up. Isn't that great? You can do this lying down, as you know, right? Maybe some of you could do this standing up. I'm not sure, but so this works too. In fact, it's kind of hard not to have good posture when you do this. Good. Okay, so now we're going to turn to the other side. Outside leg is back. You're going to reach down and lift up and pull back. Now, just pulling back should straighten you out a little bit. Yeah. Pull that back if you can. See, I have stretchy pants on. I could cheat a little and do that. If not, just push the heel back. See? Easy, huh? Reaching down, lifting up, pulling back. What's next? Do you remember? Reaching. You're very dramatic. But instead of this, I'd like you to pull that chin in. Posture is everything if you're going to be a dancer, especially a ballerina. Yes? So reaching and pulling back, so you're getting a really, really good stretch. And then we'll be really graceful, and we'll just drop the hand down and switch. Let's see if I remember my posture. It's so easy to not do it. But you're doing great. If you're tuning me in and you're trying, I really appreciate it. And as I said, you're doing something good for yourself. Keeping that back straight. You should feel the stretch in the back here. Good. All right. Now, just for the heck of it, why don't you round down and see if you could touch your shin or your foot or your toe. Try it. And all right, just say you can't do it. Come back up. We'll try it again. And especially if you do it with the breath, it'll be even better. So let's come forward. And each time you'll be able to go a little bit more. It works. It really, really works. This time we'll do it with the breath. See if it's different, if you'll be able to go a little bit farther. Breathing up. And as you breathe out, pull the abdomen in just a tiny bit. And you'll be able to do even a little more. Well, it must be the shoes I have on, but I can do this at home. You know that, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, let's sit back. So give yourselves a hug. You worked really hard today. Now you can round your back and come forward. Good. And we'll do just the opposite, won't we? Going to lean back and a little bit of a stretch. This always feels so good. All right. Come back up. Lift one leg up and pull that leg right in. Drop your chin down. And then sit up straight. Good. Other leg, pull it in, pull yourself up. Maybe you should watch television like this. How long do you think you could do it? I don't know. And then we'll just bring that foot back. Now for the next few minutes, why don't we try to do nothing? Is that possible? Just relax. Be in the moment. Be in the moment. Don't think about anything you've done or have to do. Let's take a breath together all the way up, holding and breathing out. As you breathe out, let your head drop down. Good. So what we're doing now is releasing the muscles that, we've created a lot of tension, and now we're just going to relax them. We'll bring the head back up. Great. So we're going to relax, release, and just let go. Just make believe you have nothing to do. You're just going to be here in the now, just relaxing. Again, I know I've said it 1,000 times, but you're doing something good for yourself. I have one more thing I would like to give you before I leave today. For those that are doing too much sitting, this is something I just picked up. I mean, there are other things you can do. You can move your feet around. But they said if you have been sitting for quite a while, you didn't even realize it, just move your feet. Just lift them up like this. And what happens is the blood pools in your legs, all the fluids and the blood and everything. So you want to get that blood back up to the brain. This is one way you can at least start to do it. Just move those feet around a little bit. Have I given you too much today? I don't know, but I like to give you these as I think of them too. So if you really don't want to get up, but you want to do something, just move those feet up and down. And then maybe your heels too. Maybe your heels, then your toes. So thanks for joining me again. And I hope you've really gotten something out of this today. I hope I've helped you a little bit. I love doing it. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.